Regardless of how it ended, Game of Thrones increased in popularity. However, the show is not without controversy. It's chock full of violent scenes and mature content. While some of these instances are brief and transitory, others have far-reaching consequences for the characters who are badly affected. Here are the 10 times when Game of Thrones took it way too far. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Jaime raped Cersei in Sept. In the 4th season episode Breaker of Chains, Jaime discovers Cersei mourning Joffrey's death at the Sept. Jaime pushes Cersei to have sex with him after a pretty tense argument despite her urgent pleas for him to stop. But physically attempting to restrain him while he tears off her clothes is a very sinister moment for Jaime and utterly out of character. Number 9. Ed Sheeran's appearance. While this sequence may not have elicited as big a reaction as many others in Game of Thrones, singer Ed Sheeran's brief presence did seem out of place to some fans. This is especially true for viewers who are familiar with the well-known musical icon. Fans unfamiliar with Sheeran might not have detected anything out of place with this scenario, which appears when Arya stumbles across a group of Lannister troops singing around a fire while out on patrol in the Riverlands. Others, though, may have perceived this moment as fawning and a worthless diversion. Number 8. Daenerys eats up a horse's heart. Deaths weren't the only thing that went too far in Game of Thrones. Among these is a scene in which Daenerys devours a horse's heart. Although the gore in this sequence was not over the top, the image of someone eating a bloody horse heart has made many viewers uncomfortable. Furthermore, the fact that this scenario occurred in Season 1 helped establish the tone for some of the other bizarre events that were to occur in the series. Viewers had no idea that even more intense things were in store for them in the show's subsequent seasons. Number 7. The marriage of Margaery Tyrell and Tommen Baratheon. Margaery has more compassion for others than Queen Mother Cersei. Despite this, it was always evident that what Margaery desired most was the crown, and she was willing to go to any length to obtain it. This marriage is more fruitful than Margaery's previous ones since she succeeds in briefly becoming queen. The predatory aspect of their relationship, on the other hand, feels inappropriate. Maybe that's the intention, but Tommen's love for Margaery becomes so strong that he commits suicide after Margaery dies. This is an awkward, inappropriate, and emotionally abusive relationship. Number 6. So much time was spent on an insignificant romantic subplot. Everything between Grey Worm and Missandei. So much screen time was spent creating the relationship between these two minor characters for it to only fizzle out. Worst of all, the material wasn't even that horrible. The performance was good, and the sequences, while many and cheesy, weren't as cringeworthy as the show can be when it's at its worst. At the end of the day, emotional fulfillment shouldn't have been fabricated through individuals who are largely unimportant to the main plot. It must come from the main actors. Number 5. Tyrion Lannister and Sansa Stark are getting married. Sansa was forced to marry Tyrion before being forced to marry Ramsay. Tyrion could have been a better husband, but Sansa feels like a contrast to Tyrion's shame. Tyrion's happiness appears to be jeopardized by the marriage, given he is romantically linked with Shae at the moment. In actuality, Sansa is even more affected. The marriage is not only psychologically damaging to her, but it also undermines her aspirations to leave King's Landing. Although Tyrion is not given a free pass on the show, this marriage feels awkward and improper, especially with Sansa involved. Number 4. Talisa Stark stabbed while pregnant. Women and children are sensitive subjects for many people, and scenes in which they are harmed or killed are rarely favorably received. However, this remarkable moment was included in Game of Thrones. Talisa Stark is brutally stabbed in the stomach while pregnant in this clip. Talisa and her unborn child both die as a result of their injuries. This moment was extremely difficult to see, and many believed that this was just another instance in which the series went too far. Number 3. The crowning of Bran Stark as king was widely criticized. In the last seasons of Game of Thrones, many poor decisions were made, but few were as groan-worthy as Bran ascending to the throne of Westeros in the closing scenes of the program. The fundamental reason for this was that Bran had become an extremely uninteresting character. Not because the concept of his story was uninteresting. However, his personality made him a one-note character. Beyond that, his elevation to the throne was impossible to defend, even within the show's lore, leaving many questioning why the writers had gone down this path at all. Number 2. The Red Wedding. Following the death of Eddard Stark, it appeared that Robb was on track to revenge on his father and reclaim the North as his kingdom. The young wolf appeared unstoppable, having never lost a battle. Michelle Fairley's stunning performance heightens the suspense until the final terrible slash. Rains of Castamir's melancholy chorus remains the music of deceit and failure to this day. The abrupt end of the King and the North tale startled fans everywhere, leaving viewers wondering who they should hope for in the future. Number 1. Robin, breastfeeding. Lady Catelyn Stark finds refuge at the Eyrie, the residence of her sister, Lisa Arryn, after capturing Tyrion. The Lady of the Great House meets her guests in the castle's audience room alongside her son Robin, who is actively breastfeeding despite being way too old for it. It's cringeworthy enough to make audiences want to flee. Despite this, a prosthetic boob was employed for the scene. Still, it's a very disgusting way of demonstrating that this lady is one raven short of a roost. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comments section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.